Good morning, students. Myself, Dr. UK Yadav, PhD Bio, JNV Samastipur, Bihar, and welcome you all back in our Darwin's classes. So, due to certain reason, it is a long time when we are going to meet with each other, and let us start the continuing chapter from class 10, that is NCERT chapter 8. How do organisms reproduce? And in this connection, already we have taught regarding asexual mode of reproduction. So now it is the term for sexual mode of reproduction. Why there is need of sexual reproduction and how it takes place, what are the advantages, and sexual reproduction in case of flower, means in case of angiospermic plant, and in case of human being. So these are the syllabus. So first of all, let us start with certain definitions what sexual reproduction means. So as the term indicates, sexual reproduction means the type of reproduction, the process of reproduction where there are involvement of sex cells, gametes. So on the basis of production of gamete, the individual which are producing male gamete, male sex cell, that is sperms, they are termed as male, and the organism who are capable of producing the female gamete, the egg or the ova, they are the female. So in case of sexual reproduction, there is need of two individuals. That means there is need of male and female, and they are producing their gametes. These gametes are being transported, and there is union of gamete. That is the beauty of sexual reproduction. Union of gamete means fertilization. So after fertilization, it becomes zygote, and this zygote undergo cell division and cell differentiation, leading to the embryonic development, and finally the young one is being produced and there is childbirth. So this is all about the sexual reproduction. So let us proceed with certain definitions regarding sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction is the type of reproduction in which the two sexes, namely male and female, are involved. That means there is involvement of both male and female individual. The male sexual unit is known as male gamete or sperm. The male produces the sex cell, the male gamete, that is sperm, and the female sexual unit, the female producing the sex cell or sexual unit, that is termed as gamete or ovum, in plural ova. And in case of sexual reproduction, the main event is production of sex cell, production of gamete, formation of gamete, that means gametogenesis. So in case of male, it will be spermatogenesis, formation of sperm in case of male, and in case of female, it will be oogenesis, production of ova, maturation of ova. So gametogenesis and fusion of gametes. Fusion of gametes means fertilization. So these are the two main events in case of sexual reproduction. That means in case of sexual reproduction, there is formation of gamete, then there will be transport of gamete, and after transport there will be union of gamete, there will be fusion of gamete, and due to fusion of gamete, it will lead to the formation of zygote, and this zygote, the single cell, will undergo cell division and cell differentiation, leading to embryonic development, and this is the sexual reproduction. The male individual, the male organism producing the sex cell, the male gamete, and they are smaller, they are generally smaller, motile, that means they are showing movement and more active than female gametes. In respect of female gamete, male gametes are smaller, motile, and more active. That means they will move towards female gamete. Generally, the female gametes are stationary and male gametes are moving towards female gamete for facilitating the fertilization for their union. So, during transportation, there may be wastage of male gamete. Therefore, the number of male gametes are generally much more than that of the female gamete. The female gametes or egg, ovum, they are filled up with the reserve food material and therefore their size will be bigger. And size will be bigger, that means they are inactive or they are passive. They are larger in size and they are passive. इन फिल्म थ्री इडियट यदि आप लोगों ने देखा होगा तो वहाँ एक बात दिखाता है कि इन रिप्रोडक्टिव ट्रैक्ट द स्पर्म्स आर मूविंग फास्ट, द स्पर्म्स आर रनिंग, और वहाँ एक डायलॉग है कि कंपटीशन तो शुरू हो जाती है यहीं से। तो वहाँ क्या है, स्पर्म्स की संख्या बहुत अधिक है, मिलियंस ऑफ स्पर्म्स आर देयर एंड सिंगल ओवम इज देयर, सिंगल एग इज देयर एंड देयर इज रेस अमॉन्ग ऑल द स्पर्म्स। क्या होंगे, फर्स्ट कम फर्स्ट सर्व। तो वहाँ भी क्या है, रेस है, वहाँ भी कंपटीशन है कि आउट ऑफ द मिलियंस ऑफ स्पर्म ओनली वन आर फैसिलिटेटिंग द फर्टिलाइजेशन, नो चांस ऑफ नेक्स्ट स्पर्म फॉर द एंट्री इनटू द ओवम। तो वहाँ भी क्या होंगे, इट इज कंपटीशन, सर्वाइवल ऑफ द फिटेस्ट। तो जो सबसे पहले गया वो फर्टिलाइज किया, वो फैसिलिटेट किया ना। सो दीज आर द male and female gametes. Now, on the basis of sexuality, that means here the male are producing male gamete, the females are producing female gametes. That means one individual, one organism is capable of producing only one type of gamete. But sometimes it may happen that an individual having capacity to produce both the gametes. That means they are producing both male as well as female gamete and they are termed as bisexual. The organism where both are separate, in separate individual, they are unisexual. Like human being, we are unisexual or it is termed as dioecious. That means two different individuals are producing male and female gametes. But in case of leeches, in case of starfish, in case of earthworm, they are producing both the gametes. In case of tapeworm, so they are bisexual or they are termed as monoecious. The organism which are capable of producing only one type of gametes, that means either they will produce a sperm or they will produce ovum. That means a single individual capable of producing male gamete, sperm, they are termed as male individual. That means male are the organism, they are having male reproductive organ and producing only sperms, whereas the female is the organism who is capable of producing only ova or egg cell. That means both the gametes are being produced on individual which are separated from each other. That means a single individual producing only one type of gamete, that is unisexuality or unisexual organism. That means organism having only one type of sex organ and capable of producing that sex cell, either male gamete or female gamete. But in case of bisexual or hermaphrodite organism, they are capable of producing both male as well as female gamete because they are having both the sex organs. That means they are having both male as well as female reproductive system, male as well as female reproductive organ, and therefore they are capable of producing both male and female gamete, like in the case of earthworm, starfish, hydra, tapeworm and leech. They are bisexual organisms. That means they are capable of producing both male as well as female gamete. Now the production of gamete, the gametogenesis, that means the spermatogenesis and oogenesis takes place in an individual after getting sexual maturity. and after getting sexual maturity they are capable of participating in the process of reproduction. So an individual, they are having two sets of chromosomes, that is diploid, termed as 2N. But what will happen if they are producing the gamete and they will unite? Then there will be number of chromosomes doubled at each time of reproduction. That means the sperm having diploid. In case of human being, it is 46 number of chromosomes in our body. So if the egg will contain 46 and ova will contain 46, that will result into 92. But it doesn't happen. All the human being, after several generations, after generation, they all are having only 46 number of chromosomes, and that is due to the process of reductional division during the formation of gamete. So the formation of gamete takes place as a result of meiosis, reductional division. That means the number of chromosome reduces to half, and that is termed as haploid. That means the sperm will contain 23 number of chromosome, as well as the ovum will contain 23 number of chromosome, and after union it will have 23, and that is termed as N. 23 termed as N. It will also contain 23, that means it is N. And after formation of zygote, when there will be union of sperm and ovum, that means it is having 23, it is having 23. So after union, it will lead to the formation of zygote, and zygote will contain 46 number of chromosomes. This will be zygote and it will having 46 number of chromosomes. So during gametogenesis, it is reductional division that maintains the number of chromosomes in an individual. In case of sexual reproduction, there is formation of gamete, that means gametogenesis, and this gametogenesis takes place as a result of meiosis. That means there will be reductional division. Reductional division means the number of chromosome reduces. So if an individual is having number, then their gamete will have half of the number of the chromosome that an individual is having. In case of human being, in case of ourselves, all the cells of human being, they are having 46 number of chromosomes, but the gametes, the sperm, they are having 23 chromosomes. The ovum, they are having 23 chromosomes. So the gametes are termed as haploid. They are having half the number of the chromosomes as the individual is having. So the gametes are formed after meiosis, that means reductional division. Hence the number of chromosomes in gametes is just half of the chromosome number of the individual, and term is given haploid, small n. We are termed it as haploid, means half the number of chromosomes. When both the male and female gametes unite, that means when fertilization will take place, then what will happen? The original number will restore. That means 23 from sperm and 23 from ovum. That will lead to the formation of 46 number of chromosome in an individual. That means it is diploid, 2N. So in case of sexually reproducing organism, only the sex cell, only the reproductive cell, only the gametes, they will have haploid. That means there will be number of chromosomes half, and rest of the cells of the body, they are diploid. Only reproductive cell, sex cell or gametes, they are haploid. That means they are having N, and rest of the cells of the body, they are diploid. That means they are 2N. So after formation of zygote, that means both these gametes are going to unite. Both the gametes are meeting. That means there is fertilization, and fertilization leads to the formation of zygote. The cells formed after the fusion of male and female gametes is called zygote, and the life starts from zygote. This zygote is 2n, and this zygote is having the capacity to divide and produce an individual. That means this cell is having totipotency. It is having potentialities to produce a young one, to produce an individual. That means the zygote is having totipotency, so there will be continuous cell division. Now the cell division which will take place in zygote, that will be mitosis, equational division. That means zygote having 46 number of chromosomes, then what will happen? This will divide repeatedly. That means all the cells of young one, all the cells of human being, that is going to form from zygote, that will have 46 number of chromosomes. When there is fertilization, then there will be formation of zygote, and this zygote will go into embryonic development phase by continuous cell division, and here the cell division will be equational cell division. That means in zygote there is 46 number of chromosomes, then in each and every cell which are going to divide and which are going to be made from zygote, that will contain 46 number of chromosomes. That means equational cell division, mitosis. And it is not only cell division, rather there is cell differentiation, because suppose in case of human being, zygote is single cell, one type of cell, but after getting maturity there is epithelial cell, muscular cell, or epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, connective tissue, nervous tissue, and all these cells are arising from zygote. That means there is formation of different types of cells from a single cell, and that is termed as cell differentiation. So there are two events taking place in zygote, that is cell division and cell differentiation, and due to that there is formation of young one. Now question arises, when there is asexual mode of reproduction, जो कि बहुत ही आसान है, सिंपल है, sexual mode of reproduction is complex process, then why there is need of sexual mode of reproduction, or why sexual reproduction is advantageous than that of the asexual reproduction? So in our next class we will discuss that why sexual mode of reproduction is advantageous or better than that of the asexual mode of reproduction. आज के लिए इतना ही, मिलते हैं फिर हम लोग अगले क्लास में। तो आप लोग वीडियो को देखें, लाइक करें, शेयर करें और कमेंट करें, so that I can improve for the benefit of you people. Thank you one and all for viewing the video. Thanks a lot.